Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun. Everybody, stop. Wait a minute. It's hammer time. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, wait a minute. It's not hammer time, and it's not vanilla ice baby. And welcome to the Red Zone, where we talk about music, sports, friends, entertainment, adventure, broadcasting skills. You can have your very own adventure right here on the Red Zone. And today, yes, I'm having a little bit of a headphone adventure. I did forget to charge my Bluetooth headset, so we are corded today. For all of you wondering why I have a big white cord sticking out of my ear, that's my charger. So, not that you care, but let's get into it with today's broadcast. I'm Samantha's World with the one, the only
Mystics
podcasting.
World.
And Mr. World come up with a really cool idea. So a lot of you liked our podcast over on Anchor about business, politics, financials, how to find the right business partner, how to be financially successful. A lot of you liked our tips and trendy trades that we suggested. So we're going to be talking about how to be business smart and some of the things we've learned while being podcasters and how to be successful podcasters as well. So without further ado, all things fun, let's get to it with the smartest one of the Red Zone, the one who remembers to charge his device, Mr. World.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Red Zone. I am your amazing co-host, Mystics World. Now, today, guys, we have a really big opportunity to kind of go back on some of the things we've learned about financial success, podcasting success, how to do whatever we do, how to become successful at it. So, first of all, we're going to start with podcasting success. And no other than the amazing Samantha Swear is going to kick us off on how to be successful in podcasting. Take it away.
Thank you, Mr. World. So I am Samantha World, like he said. I'm a professional DJ. I'm a professional talk show host now. I'm also host of the Welcome to the Red Zone. So what that means basically is that we go onto this app called Anchor. It's a recording studio where you can record podcast episodes and upload them to Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Breaker. We are pretty much out there on all the podcast social apps that you want to get on. The key thing that I want to mention is that getting on those is not easy. You have to start out with one podcast. And from there, your podcast might start growing. But what do you talk about? Well, just like us, we kind of have a variety: music, sports, friends, entertainment, adventure, broadcasting skills. The reason we talk about all this stuff is because there is more than one type of thing that people do. And we figured that each and every one of you would love to hear something about your craft. So, how do we get started? Well, we met over on this app called Likey. That's a Likey video. We met over there on Likey, and we started from there. Then we moved to Anchor. Anchor in recording, you need to have a special place, quiet, away from everyone, have some headphones connected for best quality hearing, and have a partner like me, over your Mystics World, and you need to invite and record. So inviting and recording takes two steps. One, you can invite them directly through the app if they are your partner on Anchor, but if they're not, you can invite them on Instagram, on Facebook, any of the social medias. You can send someone from your social media an invite. A lot like what we're doing here over on StreamYard, where we're videoing, except with podcasting, you are vocalizing. Broadcasting is where you are video, and so we are vlogcasting right now, or vlogging to you. So, our favorite things about Anchor has definitely been 5 months of success. Woo! We've been on there half 5 months. Thank you, everyone. It's been so much fun. But one of the things that you want to start out with is finding the right topic. So, like today, we are talking about business and how to start your very own business. So, without further ado, let's get to it with Mystics World. How do we start your own business?
Well, it's different ways to start your own business. Number one, you gotta have a game plan. You can't go anywhere without having a game plan. So, first of all, how do we do it? Get the old pen and pad out, write down some ideas, and some of the ideas may not sound too convincing at first. So, what do? You write down what you think sounds good to you, then you take it to other people and let them see if and let them see how good it sounds to them. And if they feel like that what you're working on is good enough, they will offer to help you. They will offer to get you started, and you can't go anywhere without asking for help. Ask for help, have a game plan, socialize with others that's been in similar situations, and then you go from there. So there's basically at least 4 or 5 steps you can start off with. Having a game plan, writing down your ideas, socializing with others to see what they think about it. Ask for help if you feel like there's something you can't get right away. Ask someone for help, and then you go from there. So those are like 5 easy tips and 5 easy steps in starting your own business. We're gonna go to Samantha's world. Let's see what she had to say on it.
Yes, definitely. That's exactly what you do. All the things he said are perfect examples of how to start your own business. I love his examples because it's true. You need to start a game plan. So what I was showing you here was this is a notepad. I do all my bills. I write all my bills down, what I owe on this notepad. Then I can keep going. If I mess up, there's always more paper, and I can always rewrite stuff down and start again. The cool part is with starting a business plan, write down your business plan. Also, start a business model. Our business model is do what you love and love what you do. If you're not doing what you love and loving what you do, as Mystic World's famous quote, what do you say about that? What's our famous quote on your end?
If you're not loving what you do, then you're in the wrong business. And with that said, doesn't matter how much money you're making. You could be making 2 or 3 thousands of dollars, but if you're not happy with what you're doing, that 2 or 3 thousand dollars feels like you're living in misery. So I personally would rather make $200 or $300 a week if it's that's something that I love to do, because it's not about the money, it's about the service. If the service is not good, then don't worry about how high of a pay you're gonna get. $200 or $300 can grow just like millions and millions of dollars. So if you're not loving what you do, then you're in the wrong business. And Samantha's World also has a famous quote that she likes to say before and after each episode, which is,
Do what you love, love what you do. Featuring people from all around the world. That's right. I say that because I feature everyone from around the world. And I want everyone from around the world to feel unity, hope, peace, and encouragement to love everything. Now, I'm going to tell you something else, and it is conduct market research. What I mean by conducting market research is that market research will tell you if there's an opportunity to turn your idea into a successful business. The easiest way to gather information on potential customers and business already operating in your area. Use the information to find competitive advantages for your business. So what that means is start a quiz online. Go online, create a quiz, ask questions, see what people in your social medias, in your friends, in public, maybe do a public forum quiz and get people to answer how they would answer or feel about your subject. Don't take everything literal though. Know if you have a lot of negative comments, there may mean something that you need to change in your business idea in order to grow your idea. Next, I want to talk about something Mystic said. The first thing is write your business plan. What he means by that is your business plan is the foundation of your business. It's a roadmap for how to structure, run, and grow your new business. You'll use it to convince people that working with you or investing in your company is a smart choice. Number three, this is the key thing. Before starting any business, funds always seem to get the downer of all of us. Funding our businesses can be a little bit extreme. But thankfully, there are a lot of good places that you can fund your business, such as GoFundMe. Start a funding campaign on Facebook. You can start a funding campaign on Instagram, a funding campaign on YouTube, on what we like to use StreamYard to share our information to all social media. You can even get paid advertisements. Paid advertisements are great because they help you along the process to get your products paid for. The only bad part about paid advertisements is sometimes paid advertisements don't pay a lot right away. So we don't want you to get your hopes up that the first day it's $1 million. That truth is not true. It takes the time to grow your business to that $1 million. For us, it's been 5 months. We are already successful enough to start our own website, which is super cool. But we didn't just do it in the first month. We didn't do it overnight, and we didn't do it in the garage, the car, the basement. We did it working back and forth together to grow our business. So the next thing I want to talk about is another thing. Fund your business. Your business plan will help you figure out how much money you'll need to start your business. If you don't have that amount on hand, you'll need to either raise or borrow the capital you need to start your business. Now, this is where it gets tricky.
Yes, guys, what she was saying about that, to raise your amount. There's different ways to raise money. You can do charity work. And I know charity work sounds really, really tough, but starting a small charity is one way to start your business. Not saying it's
You
going to help right away, but it will. So starting small charities can help. Volunteering into small businesses can also help. So this is pretty much what she was saying about, if you're having financial issues and you're starting from the bottom, charity work is number one, the best, or you can volunteer around your community, even if it means picking up paper out the park, even if it means washing cars, even if it means helping your elderly get the groceries in. There's millions of ways to start your own business and million ways to start. So this is what Samantha's world was saying before her difficulties. And that is how it's supposed to be, guys. If someone connection goes out by you being your business partner, you need to keep on going professionally because when the camera's rolling on you and something happens to your business partner, you have to keep going. You have to keep rolling, guys, because you're live. So that is something that we
Yes,
worked on over the years, guys. When someone is can't able to do something, the other one pitches in until that person comes. So I want to thank my manager for teaching me that skill on when something is happening to keep going. So we're gonna head back over to Samantha's world, guys, and I hope I help you guys with your questions about what she was saying.
yes, thank you, Mrs. Wells. And we did that purposely because we wanted to show you that when your internet goes out, when you can't make it on time, or when you can't do something in time, it's always good to inform your business partner ahead of time. You may be having struggles. Like I told him prior, I'm getting Wi-Fi set up today onto a new device, so that will make a huge difference. Also, it's nice to note that your partner can always step in when you're out, you need some advice or some help. He can further on the conversation. Before I ended, I was talking about funds. So, funds, there's a lot of ways to get funds, not just like what he said, working. You can actually get a small business loan or a credit card. You can also start a savings account. You can even get a bank account set up and start depositing money. The great part about that is some banks don't charge you any interest or fees. So if you find one, even a prepaid gift card, and get yourself a prepaid Visa, only put so much dollars on it. Set limits for yourself over the month. Know that your reach is only $100 this month, so don't go over your $100. If you only put that amount on your gift card or credit card or set the limit from your bank card, then you're setting yourself up for goals, for business limits, for business reaches. Next, then in the funding, it also talks about sharing funds. A lot of times you might find, oh, if I get a financial person to do my banking for me, that could be a good thing. But like Mystics World and I talk about, we're going to go into contracts because this is where you get into contracts. Now, I know a lot about contracts, but I didn't know enough. And at one point, I had signed something and I really shouldn't have. So, to help us better understand contracts, Mr. Tripp will talk about what to do and what not to do with contracts as a business partner or an investment firm of any kind.
Okay, guys, when it comes to contracts, always we read the fine print. And what are fine prints? Fine prints is that little bitty tiny section at the very bottom that most of us do not read because it doesn't really catch the eye of a lot of people. Just as say you're going to get a business loan and you write your signature on that, but that fine print may say no tax refund, which means if you do this, you may not get tax refunds. You may not be able to get refunds if you buy something. So, those are the little keys to signing contracts. Read the fine print is the number one rule of all contracts. Number two, never give out personal information unless you need to. If it's not the case to put your personal information on something, do not do it because once you do that, that contract owns you. Which means if you usually off on Sundays and that contract says you have to go in every day and Sundays is most of your day off or Saturday, you can't miss a day of that contract because that contract states you have to be there 24/7. If you're a parent and you have to pick up your kid from school because they're sick, that contract states no one is allowed to leave after a certain amount of time. You're stuck at work while your child is sick, or even in the music industry. When you're in the music industry, always read that fine print because a lot of people say in the music business that once you sign a contract, you in a way sign away your soul, and that's true in a way. Why is it true? Because you can't go have fun with your friends. You have to miss birthday parties. If you have kids, you have to miss their birthday parties because you're always on the road. You can never go to your mom's birthday party. And the worst thing about musical contracts is when someone has a passing in their family, you're not even allowed to go there, guys. Don't you know how sad it is you're on the road and someone passes that you were close to? So don't ever sign contracts without reading that fine print. Don't ever give away your personal information. And the most important thing, do not ever sign a contract that you don't fully understand because you could end up in deeper trouble than you already are. So it's always good to have a lawyer on your hand, a good lawyer, a lawyer that you can trust, a lawyer that won't screw you over. So guys, get you a good lawyer, and with every contract, let them read it. And guys, we have a lot of ego. A lot of us do. Just because something sounds good, and our lawyer may say, "Hey, we don't think it's right for you." We get an attitude. A lot of people go, "Oh, this sounds good," but you're not thinking at that moment because money, money, money is what a lot of us think of. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I think of money too, but I'm also smart enough to know when not to sign something that may sign my life away. 3 or 4 million may sound good, but what are the sacrifice that you have to do with that 3 or 4 million? And besides, that contract that you sign may not be what you signed up for, because there's a lot of people who will screw you over on contracts. So I'm going to close out by saying, if you sign a contract, guys, look at the fine print. Don't sign it unless you have to. Be very careful, guys. And this is Mystic's World, heading back over to Samantha's World in her studio.
Thank you,
I'm
Mystic.
Mystic.
That is super important. Then, like he said, you should listen to it. It's super important. Signing contracts is a huge deal. And never, like he said, sign something until you have exact knowledge of what you were signing. Get a proofread. Always ask for a second copy. You have the right to ask for a second copy of the contract, no matter whether or not they want to give it, they are required. Any government contract, legal contract, or even contracts between your friends. Say you loan someone a car or a vehicle. If you do, get a contract, sign it, make sure both parties agree to the deal on the contract. So that way they cannot go back and hey, if at any time you feel like something's shady or unattendable or they're not acting right, set up a video camera. A video camera is the best way to catch someone in their own lives. You can also set up a recorder, a tape recorder, but put a sign up somewhere on your building that notifies people whenever they enter that they are being recorded. This way, they're entering at their own will, but you are still able to get evidence of any fraudulent activity or things you may not think to look for in a business. Up next is number four. The great part about Mystic's World and me is that we're doing this virtually. But what if you can't do it virtually? And you need to work together in a location. So this next topic is picking the right business location. A lot of times having the right location is the best thing to do, but we need to talk about that. Your business location is one of the most important decisions you'll make. Whether you're setting up a brick and mortar business or launching an online store, the choices you make could affect your taxes, legal requirements, and revenue. That's right. So states differ on taxes. States differ on financial products, business opportunities. Some states are higher than others. Setting up a business in a lower income tax state is a good idea for those of you who don't want to pay a lot of taxes in the first few years. However, if you set your business up in a higher income tax, what you pay you will get back in your taxes, so you'll get more back in your taxes. But the problem with that doesn't always mean a benefit, but in some cases it can be. What does that mean? Well, it means that your local government, if ever your company or business suffers, there sometimes are offered government loans or EPA loans or BPA loans or CPA loans. There are a lot of different types of loans out there that the government offers for businesses who are struggling. In fact, I'm going to go into a little topic about Nebraska. Just last year, Nebraska suffered a huge, massive flood. There was water everywhere. The entire state was flooded. A lot of businesses were closed. Places were hit. Businesses were knocked out. The Blair had huge damage. I know North Platte, Norfolk, Nebraska, the Oakland River flooded. It washed out a bunch of homes. It was devastating. But thankfully, Nebraska has a really good government system alongside Governor Pete Ricketts, and he offered a bunch of helpful loans and assistance programs where everyone who was affected, they were all covered under that program. Does that mean that you will all qualify? No, it doesn't. But those programs are great. So if you're out there, I do know if you pick a state that has a lot of flooding, damaging, there are a lot of good government programs out there to help you out. But that's just Nebraska. Mystic's World is from the South. So he knows all about big storms like hurricanes, tornadoes, and other big episodes of weather. So, Mr. World, how is it for you in your state? And do businesses get the same kind of help, or is it different for you on help?
Well, we have a few organizations as well like that. One is FEMA, and what FEMA does is basically what they do in Nebraska. They get people who, are very affected by different types of storms, and they give out personal loans at times. We get personal loans, and we're able to do whatever we want with that personal loan, either to get a new house or to help someone else. But with our personal loans, it comes a bit of a risk, because we only get so much of the personal loan that I say maybe $2,000 at the most. And if you think of it, $2,000 is not really a lot of money, so you have to be very smart about how you spend $2,000, because if you look at it, that's only um a couple of $100, $2,000. So that's like $500 plus an extra 100. So that's really not really much. And we had something similar to happen to that in Louisiana. So if you guys have ever been to Louisiana, you guys know that Katrina was one of Louisiana's worst enemy at that time. And as of today, they're still kind of building up on that. And so, guys, what we're talking about today is very important, guys. Like he said, your foundation is what matters, you know. And I want to, wrap up something if it's okay with Samantha's world. I'd like to say something. Like what she said about the small investments. Just because you start a business and a small investment does not make you less of a person. Please, I want to note that right now because I know there's a lot of you that's like, oh, well, we have such a small loan, we have such a small business. It will grow over time, so we're gonna let Samantha's world kind of talk about that. And I want to ask Samantha's world, does it make you less of a person if you have to start off with a small business loan in your location?
No, it does not. Actually, I think that helps your business a lot because you are growing your business in ways normally you would not think of going. And the best part is, if you start off small, it's easier to pay back. So your first business adventure can always be something very tiny, but end up being successful. So this is what I want to talk about next, and it is choosing your business structure. Now, we just talked about funds, which this goes along with funds. The legal structure you choose for your business will impact your business registration requirements. How much do you pay in taxes and your personal liability? That's right. For most of you who don't know, starting a business, you actually have to register your business with the United States government. Depending on what state requirements are, each state has a set of its own requirements. Each city has a state of its own requirements and county. So certain counties may have different business opportunities while others may not. Certain states may have different requirements while other states may not. Legal contracts. This is where we go back to contracts. When you're looking at this, go through all the states closest to you, go through all the business opportunities closest to you. Don't just pick the first one with sparkly diamonds and all the financial business lined out for you. That's not always a good idea because oftentimes that's where it gets messy. Your business looks good at the start, you're at the home run, it's shiny, you're at the baseball, you hit a home run, everything's all in one package. Sometimes the package deal isn't great. Sometimes it's great to single things out and buy things separately. A lot of times in the DJ kit, you have the opportunity to get the whole thing for $600. It's a great deal. You get the microphone, the DJ mixer, you get the speakers, everything all in one for $600. Or if you buy everything separately, you could get the microphone for $3. You could get the speaker for $20. I mean, the price is so much cheaper buying it separately than it is buying it together that you're losing money. So don't just think the first opportunity you get is the best opportunity. Now, as far as that goes, personal liability. What happens if I tripped and fell in my business? Am I responsible? Is someone else responsible? It's always good to note who is liable for an accident in your business. It could be a slip, a fall. Oh, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. Mr. Twirl, how many times have you said that or heard that? And what are your references to this? Because this is so true. Oh, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. The commercial that we see on TV. Well, that's just not a commercial. That is actually the real deal. It happens in a lot of workplaces. Who's liable and who's responsible? So, Mystic World, let's take it over to you for the "Oh help, I've fallen and I can't get up" commercial on how to deal with liability and what things that we can do to help prevent us from getting sued in our business.
Well, first of all, guys, get insurance on your business. So that way, not only if something happens, your insurance will pay for it. Not only get insurance for your business, but get insurance on all your employees. So just in case, like she said, if someone was to fall, you wouldn't get sued because your insurance on your employees and also your insurance on your business, your insurance company would cover it if it was an accident. So what you have to do is make sure that number one rule that we all sometimes forget when we wake up in the morning: organization. Make sure your business is organized. Make sure that you have everything organized personally. That way, if someone was to come through and follow whatever, then that way you would have your organized. Not only organization, but label your stations, because labeling is the most important part of having a business. What is labeling? Well, we have someone over here who is good with all types of designing, who is good with organization. Let's just call her one of the most organized designers in the world. And she's going to tell us how to label our business so that no one will get hurt. What are some labeling tools? And if you're not able to buy labeling tools or supplies, how can we make our own? Over to Samantha's world with all that great stuff.
All right, so we're going to get into this. This is a factory match number kit. You can buy these at the store. You can buy these. It's random that I have this here right now. But you can actually, wow, you can actually put this on your car, your house, your boat. It has numbers for outside and indoor use. The great part is, like me as a DJ, I always need to set up cords, number cords to know which goes to which equipment. You could trip and fall and have an accident if you don't label things like Mystic said. So I use these number kits to number everything with specific numbers like 123 or 321 or 1 4 goes to here, 12 goes to here, 10 goes to here, 1 goes to here. These are great. But not only do you get numbers, the cool part is, let me get this other stuff. You can get this stuff. This is self-laminating sheets. You can actually laminate stickers. So this is what it looks like. You can get laminating sheets to laminate stickers, pictures, put specific signs up. The great part is you can also get this. This is family budget. This is a family budget planner. This is great if you have a family or a business and you're trying to budget. You can actually stick these at every office desk, at every place and every day, what they spend during the day, what they use during the day. There's actually a bunch of things like groceries, insurance, phone, utilities, cable, internet, housing, loans. If someone in the business got a company loan, savings, what people saved at the moment, ATM, so you know how much you spent, and it says the month and then the income total on here, which is great. This is great for labeling how much you spent. This next thing is pocket dividers. Pocket dividers are great for labeling. So pocket dividers, you can stick names of businesses in here. This will actually slide into a folder. You can binder it if you want to, or you can set this on desks that lists the names of actual things. The next thing I will show you is the other things that I have here. Calendars. You can get mini desk calendars. Desk calendars are great because you can write down all of the months, days, what you have planned for the day. This helps you stay completely organized, writing stuff down like we said earlier. Get yourself a small desktop calendar. The other thing is weekly planner pages. These are great for relationships, and these are great for using these to help write stuff down. And you can get peel and stick ones that actually stick to things so that you can stick on top of a dry erase board, a desk. These are great. You got the model Mystics roll over there. But this is what we are doing today. So, and we're going to talk about the next thing I have, which is really cool. And say you're running a coffee shop or some sort of something that requires love. You can buy stickers, you can buy peel and stick things to remind you, special encouragement moments, things like that. So there's a lot of cool tips. The other thing with these numbers that come indoors and outdoors is you can get letters, peel and stick letters that actually work for indoor outdoor use as well. The other thing I want to talk to you about is putting up a sign. So with the help, I've fallen and I can't get up, we are going to talk about putting up a sign that says, we are not responsible for accidents. We are not reliable for accidents. We are not liabilities for accidents. Those signs help cover your business by saying you are not responsible for whatever happens. So for them walking in, whatever happens is up to them. They are responsible. You can also, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, but require every employee to get insurance through your company. The best thing I suggest is offering insurance through your company. That way, you are not responsible for any accidents, and your insurance will cover whatever damage is done to your business, your building. This goes alongside with the next thing I want to talk about, business insurance. Every business should have insurance. It does not matter what kind of business you are running. Insurance should always be a top priority. The reason insurance should be a top priority is if anything happens to your business, like a flood, like a storm, tornado, part of your building falls apart, someone gets angry at work and throws a stapler in and cracks a window, or a computer doesn't work, so you're slamming on a computer, you need a new one. Things like that happen. And you just have to expect that whatever happens in business happens. But with that insurance, there's a liability insurance and there's full coverage. So I always say start out with liability, but get full coverage the sooner you can, the better. Now, we are going to talk about choosing a business name. This is important. We chose Welcome to the Red Zone because we talk about all things sports, music, adventure, broadcasting skills. We talk about all kinds of things. But let's talk about choosing your business name. It's not easy to pick the perfect name. You'll want one that reflects your brand and captures your spirit. You'll also want to make sure your business name isn't already being used by someone else. So what that means is you may have a business idea like Welcome to the Red Zone, but somebody else may have already taken it. You can't just take someone's business name and use it for your own. So about taking someone's work and using for your own. We know both of us too well about that, but Mystics World knows a lot about that. So let's head over to Mystics World about what it means if you take someone's work and credit it for yourself, and what is it called, and how do we prevent ourselves from doing that?
Well, guys, number one, copyright restriction is one of the most dangerous things you can do in any type of business. Because why? Because you can lose your business. How? They can sue you for everything that you have because you took something that they had before. Or you can do it in the most respectful way. Even though you guys may have the same title, just let's use a different logo that represents, something different. And let's see an example of that. Let's just say someone had the name like the Rebel Bulldogs. We know that there's a copyright restriction right there because there is a real football team named the Rebel Bulldogs. So how can we keep from getting sued by that? Well, we can go and talk to that company or talk to that business or whatever it may be to let them know that, hey, we're not trying to cause any miscommunication. We're not trying to cause any type of um, problems with you guys, but we have somewhat of the same name similar to the Rebels with the Bulldogs. Will it be okay if we just change our if it be okay we just change our logo to something else? And if they agree to that, just be thankful that they allowed you to do so, but use a different type of logo so that you won't they won't get confused on the two brands. And the best way to do that is a lot of people I know, they get like the animation photos of themselves and they put it like next to each other to represent, hey, this may be the same name, but this is a whole different opportunity. Also change the motto of that company. Because if you in some standards, if you change the model of something, change your profile, it's a very big step and a very big step where people can know your business from the other business. So we're gonna go over to Samantha's world to wrap things up.
Yes. The next thing you want to do is get a federal and state tax ID. A lot of you probably don't know what this is, but it's super important. You'll use your employer identification number, EIN, for important steps to start and grow your business, like opening a bank account and paying taxes. It's like a social security number for your business. Some but not all states require you to get a tax ID as well. So there's sometimes there's a requirement for both. Sometimes there isn't, but always check with your local Bureau of Investigations office, your local state office, tax office, contacts, and like for me, it'd be Nebraska State Governor Office. just to see. You can also go to a tax place like online. Find a tax company that works great for you. TurboTax, I know, is one of the ones I go through. I believe there's a bunch of other tax places that you can go online. Look it up on Google. Make sure your state doesn't require. Google oftentimes has great tips for this. So just a reminder. Next, apply for licenses and permits. So you need licensing and permits to be able to do stuff. What that means is a business license. This is super important. You can't have a business without a business license. It's important. Apply for licenses and permits. Keep your business running smoothly by staying legally compliant. The licenses and permits you'll need for your business will vary by industry, state location, and other factors. So this is different for us because we were all working online and we are not working in a specific state. We are not required to have a business license. However, if we work in a specific state, we open up a public office in a specific state or a specific location, like a in building location, we would have to get a specific state license or office ID business license for that specific state, and that is required by the law. Unfortunately, I know a lot of you say getting that is hard. It's actually not as hard as you'd think. You can get approved fairly quickly if you have all your stuff in order. So the first 5 or 6 topics that we talked about before getting to the business license part, if you have those in line ahead of time, getting a business license will be super smooth and easy. Next up, open a business bank account. The small business checking account can help you handle legal, tax, and day-to-day issues. The good news is it's easy to get one up if you have the right registrations and paperwork ready. So if you've already gone through the first 5 steps that Mystic talked about, that I talked about, then you're good. You don't have to worry about it. You're already covered. You already have all that stuff in line. You don't need to stress. You will get that set up in no time. But that's again, go through those first 5 steps. It will help. Finally, open shop. It's congratulations. It's time to cut the big ribbon. Your business is officially open. Now focus on managing and growing your business. Need help? Get business counseling. Connect with a SCORE Small Business Development Center, Women's Business Center, or Veterans Business Outreach Center advisor today to find out what you would need to start your own business. But in that, we're getting into part 2. Finding the right business partner. We have had a lot of experience with this because finding the right business partner is more than just talking to someone. So, Mr. 12, how do we find the right business partner? And what cool things do we need to do to get the business partnership up and running?
Well, partnership is the best. It's I guess partnership is one of the best things about having a business because you're able to share topics, you're able to laugh, you're able to cry. But before you can do all of those amazing things, you must first, I feel you should have an interview. Get to know that person a little bit better. Get a background story on them. Um, kind of get them to open up a little bit about what made them come to that, what made them interested in your business, what made them know about their business. Because the number one aspect in a business, and I've been there before, they will ask you, well, what caught your attention about our business? So that is like one of the first questions you should ask while interviewing. Well, what caught your eye to our business? A lot of businesses, advertisement are online or a friend actually tell you about it or you read up on it in the newspaper or whatever. But to find the right business partner is not easy because you have to first know that person very well. Number two, you have to let each other know when you can or cannot or can do something. So if you're not able to come to work that day and you wait till that morning to tell that person that you're not able to and they already have you booked to come in, that's a total knockout because you have clients waiting on you, your business partner not available, or you wait till 5 minutes after, be like, hey, I can't make it, don't ever do that. 2 days before
Find
is a
me.
good
I'm running off screen. You can't find me.
2 days ahead is the best way to let someone know, hey, I'm not able to do something because this came up. That is how you figure out if that's the right business partner or not. Because if they don't call you or if they don't let you know they can't come in that day, then that's someone right there you don't want to work with. But even if they call in late, that's good because they did call. But if they don't call at all, and then you're like waiting on them, and waiting on them, don't. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Give them a chance. Give them a reason. Let them explain why they're not able to come. All right, let them explain why they're late. And if their reasons are good enough, you let them slide. But don't let them do it too many times because your other coworkers and things will be like, well, how did they get special privileges and we don't? So we don't want to start a diversity, on favorites. So that's pretty much how you start a business with your right business partner. And you never know. Your business partner may one day become over that business, become your boss or your manager, or they may, end up starting their own business. Doesn't mean that because they start their own business that they don't want to spend time with you. It's just that you guys have worked so well together that sometimes moving individually can be good, but it's always best to keep contact with each other. If you can move, you know, if you can move like with each other every step, that's good. But in a lot of businesses, it never works like that. In the reality world, sometimes one of your best clients may end up getting a better job than you, but it doesn't mean that they don't care about you. A lot of people move into better positions every day, and it doesn't mean that they don't care about you. It's just a better opportunity. But always have your doors open, just in case they don't like what they're in. They can always come back. And that's my outtake on how to become the greatest business partners in the world.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Swift. And it's embarrassing because I'm actually worst person for that. I don't like to say when I'm available because I really don't know. And if you don't know, the best thing you could say is I don't know when I'm going to be available. And sorry, Mrs. World, you do hear that a lot from me. I don't know when I'm going to be available, but I will call you. Don't call me, I'll call you because I really don't know. That's my motto, and I've still did that. But I am working to get more available hours, everyone. But if you want to know, all these tips that we gave you today, there's a great website that you can go to. It's called sba.gov/business-guide/10-steps-start-your-business. So sba.gov, the Small Business Administration. There's actually a website called the Small Business Administration where you can go and read up on how to start your business, how to grow your own small business. Small businesses are coming back in America and other countries and becoming more and more popular. But how to stay on top of that? Well, SBA.gov has a lot of good answers for you. But this is just a start. We will go into another broadcast where we will talk about all kinds of more tips and tricks that we've learned, how much more you can do, things you might want to look forward to or expect in the business, things like that. So we will get into that in the next podcast. But again, thank you so much for joining us here on Welcome to the Red Zone. I'm Samantha's World with my lovely and amazing co-host, the one, the only, the true
Miss
podcaster himself.
Mystic's World. And we're out, guys.
Welcome to the Red Zone. And thank you everyone for joining us here on Welcome to the Red Zone. Again, I'm Samantha World with my lovely and amazing co-host, the one, the only.
Mystic's World. And we're out, guys.
Welcome to the Red Zone.